Hello and welcome. This is the Kingdom Sparkle podcast, your guiding beacon in the world of faith-forward business. I am your host, Angeline Moore, founder of the Kingdom Sparkle Agency, where we empower businesses to shine bright. Whether you're just starting your journey or you're an established leader looking for fresh insights, you're in the right place. Together, we'll explore the concepts and strategies that will help you activate, align, and amplify your Kingdom Sparkle. So sit back, relax, and let's begin to let our inner sparkle shine. All right. Welcome to another inspiring episode of the Kingdom Sparkle podcast, where we explore the intersection of faith, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. I'm your host, Angeline Moore, CEO of the Kingdom Sparkle Agency, KSA. And today we have the privilege of diving into an incredible journey of Megan DiMartino, a visionary entrepreneur who has defied the odds by starting, scaling, and sustaining not just one, but 3 seven-figure businesses. Join me as we uncover the powerful connection between faith and building a business. Welcome, Megan. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for saying yes. Hello.
I am so thrilled to be here and speak on my favorite subject, faith forward with business. So let's go.
I love it. Oh my gosh. So Megan, your accomplishments are truly, truly inspiring. I just love you being part of my life. I'm so honored and humbled to just know you. You're a connector, and only 4% of women-owned companies reach $1 million in sales. And you've achieved that milestone not once, but 3 times. So can you walk us through your entrepreneurial journey and how faith has played a role in your success?
Wow. Now I look back and at these 33 years, Angeline, but they didn't start just when I said, I'm leaving my corporate job. And there's so much backstory to all of this to really give your audience that meat that they need. But the one thing I'm going to share is this, is that I am from New York. I grew up a Catholic, nothing wrong with that. A great foundation, went to Catholic school, fabulous education. But I didn't have a personal relationship with Jesus. I didn't know the scriptures. I didn't know the Bible. I knew nothing really. So a blank slate, so to speak. And so I was winging it of sorts from my college, then on through. Now I've always had, and this is an important piece, folks, I've always had a burning desire to create. So as Napoleon Hill says, that is your passion, that burning desire. Not necessarily a specific arena, although I thought it was going to be fashion, but that's a whole other story. But it led me, this passion led me to stay on the path of not just entrepreneurship, but creative. So my early career was in the fashion industry loosely, in the fashion merchandising with Bloomingdale's, Lord & Taylor, and I did some modeling, things of that nature, fragrance modeling for an agency, which ostensibly was sales. So, meaning it was always in that genre. But then in 1982, I took a hard left turn and I went into national sales and marketing in the wholesale beauty industry. So all during the 80s, I was trained, so to speak, in business, and training is so important. That leads me to being recruited, so to speak, by Alcon Laboratories in Fort Worth, Texas. And they're a publicly traded company, large corporation. Nestle is the parent company. So I was able to glean information from amazing chemists, because by this point, and this is the other turning point, I knew as I knew I wasn't going to stay with Alcon, but I needed to go and gain information, because there was no Dr. Google, there was no YouTube, there was nothing. So
Right.
needed to go to the horse's mouth, as they say. So I hung out with very sophisticated chemists. I buy them a beer and bring it to them after hours and say, hey, talk to me. But the point is that I knew as I knew I needed information. During
Mm,
that season, Angeline, this New York girl who did not have a relationship with Jesus did have one pivotal moment when I was a junior at a retreat, but that's another story. But that was the seed of this. But
mhm.
God is so creative and says, I look at the Trinity as a boardroom.
Yes.
I do, because I look at everything that way, like a chessboard.
Yes.
One thing leads to the next.
Love. Oh
And
my gosh,
so,
and it really took the leap of faith for you to go into this new direction and pivot,
yeah,
right?
yes,
Oh
yes.
my
Well, it
god.
was a big, big step to just move the wagon train from New York to my fashion comfort zone to Fort
Yeah.
Worth, Texas, which is Cowtown. No, that's what it's called. And it was that then. So I met Jesus on the Damascus Road in the summer of 92. At the
Wow.
same time, I left Alcon in 91, early
Mhm.
91, mid 91, and sold cars, Jaguars to be exact, as I was putting this together because I needed to make a living. I had a daughter in college, but I launched Glycolique, my first brand, in the summer of 92. So around the same time that I met
Mhm.
Jesus, I then started this business. I had been building it,
Wow.
preparing for it
Yeah.
that same time. And I look back on it, guys, and if I had not, if I had not said yes to any of those turning points, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I would not.
Wow.
I would not.
Wow. Would you say that was the specific moment or experience where your faith played a role in your decision-making process to pivot?
No, not in the beginning point. No, I
Mm,
was operating from sheer will, determination, passion, purpose, purpose not yet ish, but I mean, it was being uncovered, but the passion of creativity and the burning desire to create my own thing, I was operating from purely that mindset,
wow.
purely that,
Wow.
purely that.
Wow, when do you feel was that pivotal moment then where you knew that faith played that role in your decision-making process of moving forward and growing, continuing down this path in Texas, right? And with your glycolique and where you are at now with Novitas Spa?
It was early on with giving my heart to the Lord because it was so difficult. I had my
Mhm.
father, who was an entrepreneur, who was one of my first mentors, kept calling me saying, "Come back to New York. This is crazy. Do not do this.
My
It's
gosh.
difficult." I'm telling you from my own experience. This is he saying this to me. Now he's also my dad, so he's
Yeah.
wanting to protect me. But I said, "No, Dad, you brought me up. You were my guiding light and trailblazer. This is my DNA.
Wow.
It is you, pal."
Yes.
Yes. But what happened was, Angeline, I created or built, let's just say, 1,000
Mhm.
pieces of each. Now that sounds like a lot, but it's not. And I went to the distributor trade show, which I went every year for my two corporations that I had worked for. So the distributors knew me. And so I hired manufacturers reps, I had a booth, and I had prototypes of glycolate. And they had no idea if skincare would sell, but they knew me. People buy
Right.
people they know, like, and trust. And they knew
Yeah.
my work ethic and they knew my drive and my creativity and my commitment. They knew that.
Mm.
So, but I was working, at a corporate job, at a nice job, but I was working for other people. This was for me
Right.
and for them. So I created this 1,000 pieces. They were being built in the warehouse and they manufacture, and I sold every piece at that show. Good news, bad news.
Wow.
Good news, bad news. I had not a penny because they all said, every single one of them, come and launch it at our show this fall.
Mhm.
Holy moly, guacamole. So basically, that was August, early August. So excuse me, they had 30, 60-day terms. So I wasn't going to be paid till November.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So I
Ah!
had to pay for travel. I had to pay for everything. Well, you
Yeah.
talk about faith, you talk about commitment, you talk about clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, and compassion,
Mm.
where it began.
Oh
But
my
my
gosh.
faith, and so I would pour into the word. I would pour into a Christian broadcasting because I needed to have my spirit fed because it
Mm.
was such baby new. But by the grace of God, I had a good church, which was Bible based, very good teacher, Jeff Wickwire, who's still in Fort Worth, and TBN, and people like Miles Monroe seeking
Right.
first the kingdom of God. So I had great teaching coming into me, into this blank slate, as I said earlier. So
Wow.
so my journey with my faith forward
Mm.
began at that same time that I started Glycolique.
Wow. Your journey is honestly a true testament to the power of faith and perseverance and continuing. Oh, I love it. So, I want us to now delve into your expertise in helping others create the life and business of their dreams. Could you share some insights into your Propel Your Business on Life activation program and how faith intertwines with the strategies you teach in it?
Basically, I just said the foundation right there. Okay?
Yeah.
But my belief is very similar to John C. Maxwell,
Mm.
is that you build up leaders and within your business and give them the confidence, the support for sure,
Yes.
knowing that the buck stops here. And I firmly believe that. Meaning that someone like at the spa, so I use this as an example, Pam, and she would, if she watched this, she would laugh and say, "Oh my God, she's right." But Pam was like Tinkerbell, fabulous massage therapist, but a little spacey. So
Mm.
if a person was a left brain man, they were not attuned to her. I mean, she wore
Mm.
little slippers, and she was like Tinkerbell, and but a great massage therapist. And often people complained, they did, but
Oh,
people
wow.
also adored her. And so I didn't, I wasn't defensive with them. I didn't say, "Oh, well, she's fabulous." No, the customer is always right. And
Mm.
so I would say, "No problem, Mrs. Jones or Mr. Smith. No problem. We have other massage therapists, fabulous massage therapists that you will fit better with." And I would give them a free massage. And they looked at me
Wow.
like I was from planet Xenon because people just don't do that. So my point of bringing the story into it is that that's how Jesus built his disciples. They were
Mm.
goofy guys.
Yeah.
They had no background in what they were being prepared for, but he believed in them. And they all had different skill sets. They all had different field of favor.
Mm,
Mhm.
yes.
And he used that field of favor. He understood what he needed, and he then prepared them for the mission at hand that was going to come. He knew what was going to come. They didn't, but they needed to be built. And that's why today, half of the staff from the original Novita is back. Now, I've built them up to be entrepreneurs. And had
Wow.
COVID not happened, we were putting a plan together where they were going to just what I'm the model of that started in on 7th Street, as I call it. But then when I sold a portion of that business, an asset purchase, several of them left because they didn't want to
Mhm.
work for the individual. And I helped them find a location and they started their own entrepreneurial journeys. Okay.
Wow.
But now they're back under the roof, so to speak, of Novita Beauty and Regenerative Wellness.
So
So
good.
back to John C. Maxwell, meaning to give them the tools to be their own leaders. But like
Mm.
Pam, everyone dances to their own tune. Everyone has their field of favor. Everyone has their own personalities. And
Yes.
it's my job, along with the Holy Spirit, to plug into that person, listen to that person, and help them actualize their own dreams, goals, and desires, which will continue to evolve.
Oh my gosh. Yes. What a powerful perspective. I love that you intertwine all of it together, even with your Novitel business. And as you bring that in and teach that into the Propel Business Your Life and your Life and Business Activation Program. Wow. So so my podcast, the Kingdom Sparkle podcast that you're on here, the listeners are entrepreneurs, six-figure business owners so that are trying to find the balance between faith and business, right?
Mhm.
Could you provide our listeners with some practical strategies or principles that they can apply to manage the challenge of building a business while staying true to their faith? Is there any quick tips that you have?
Quick? No. Uh,
Well, they have to join the Propel
right,
program, of course,
right,
to get
right,
all of it.
exactly. Quick tips. But tips, yes. Again, I've said, listen, that still quiet, small voice is there. That is the Spirit of God. We get so pulled off with shiny objects. The next thing, the next new. Now, mind you, do not misunderstand. I have been in business a long time. I mentioned before there was no Google, da 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 da.
No
But my
chat
first
GPT.
website was in '97, right?
Wow.
Wow. I
Mm,
mean, people say to me, like webmaster guys or gals,
yeah.
I wasn't even born then. Yeah, I get it. So, meaning I have to, in order to build a business, I have to be not only current, but use tools.
Mm,
Okay. But I never, and I use the word never because there's no such thing as never, but I try to stay aligned with daily prayer. Now, the word says that Jesus got up every morning very early and went into prayer to his Father every morning. Now, in the word, the disciples didn't say, "Hey, teach me how to break bread and fish to feed 5,000 people, or take $1 bill and make it, or dinero, whatever, whatever the coin was,
yeah.
to make it multiply to 5,000 people and be rich." No, they said, "Teach me how to pray.
Mm,
Teach me how to pray, Father
I
or
love
Rabbi.
that.
Teach," and Rabbi means teacher. "Teach me how to pray." And that's where the Lord's
Mm,
Prayer comes in. And so if we would just go back to basics, guys, just go back to basics. And basically every morning, whatever time you get up, it does not matter, but spend a few minutes in prayer and communion with
mm,
God. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this
mm.
day our daily bread, and
Yes.
forgive our trespasses as they forgive us. Lead us not into temptation, and so forth. So the bottom line is that covers the whole gamut.
Yes.
Covers the whole gamut. And that was very familiar to me, Angeline, when
Mhm,
when I gave my heart to the Lord, because as a little Catholic girl, we prayed the rosary all the time, and the Lord's Prayer
mhm,
was part of it. And so I was very familiar with it. And so when I didn't know where to turn to,
mm.
ironically, the Holy Spirit guided me to the Lord's Prayer.
Wow.
Oh, I've been
So good.
praying, and it says, "Pray without ceasing."
Yes.
I'll be lost. I'll be driving and finding a business appointment and before
Mm,
GPS. And I'm like, "Oh my God, where to go?" In the bath, and I can't read it, and it falls on the floor. And I would just pray the
mm.
Lord's Prayer. And somehow I miraculously would find the location. So it's not one or the other. It's
Mm.
seamless.
Yes. I love that, and I love that you brought up how, Jesus, he took some time in the morning, but even after he poured into the crowds and he poured into his disciples, instead of, like, getting caught up in this shiny object syndrome of being recognized, he pulled away and he went and took some time for prayer, and it's so simple, right? Like, people get so crazy and like, "How do I do this? How do I do this?" I love that, like, even when you're like, "I'm so lost." What do we do when we're lost? We should pray, right? What do
Yes.
we do when we have no idea? Just pray. It's so simple, and I laugh about it because my husband, me and him will be talking about something life, right? Life be life in. And he's like, "Wow, it's so amazing that this worked out." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." He's like, "I'm so surprised." I'm like, "I'm not." And he'll be like, "Why not?" I go, "Well, because I prayed about it." And he just kind of looks at me, but it's true. Like, we laugh, but it's so true and it's so simple, that guidance. So I appreciate that. And what valuable insights, Megan. Oh my gosh. So cool. I love it. So as we wrap up our conversation, do you have any final words of encouragement or advice that you would like to share with our audience?
My heart is to be here for you, to help you navigate through any type of water. I visualize the Long Island Sound, because I lived on the Long Island Sound and spent a
Mm,
lot of years water, and it would get choppy or still, not the ocean. Ocean's a different body of water. It would get quiet and then very choppy. Now, things happen in life. So no matter what, I am here for you to help you navigate through all of these waters, the placid, fabulous days as your toes are in the sand to the choppy waters. I am here for you. And I want you to understand that there's hope and infinite possibilities with the power of the Holy Spirit. But we have to go within and ask, knock, seek, and you will be given. And lastly, and this is very, very important, that you must understand in your spirit that it's never too early or too late to create the life of your dreams. But the operative
Yes.
word is create. It's action. You have to do it. You have to be engaged. You need to have that clarity, that courage, that confidence, that commitment, and that compassion. You must take that action. So I've committed my life to you that the next, however long the Lord wants me to do this, 10 years, 20 years, I am here to help you start, scale, and ultimately, which is the big kahuna, sustain your business because you lose trajectory and energy as you keep going from one thing to the next. We have to identify, we have to clarify really what you want because so many people think they do, but
Mm.
they really are not clear. And it's really quite simple, as Napoleon Hill says, think and grow rich. So as
Mm.
the mind thinketh, so is he. It's
Yes.
all entwined, Angeline, all entwined, not one or the other. Faith forward, my dear. Faith forward.
I love it. Yes, Megan, thank you so much for sharing your incredible journey and for your profound insights that you've gained along the way and this whole conversation. I just love it. Your story is so truly inspiring. Every time I hear it, I'm at awe. I love to share it to every aspiring entrepreneur because I think it's so pivotal and powerful, especially in the world today when it's so 4% only 4% of women-owned businesses have done this, and look at you continuing on it, right? So I just love it. So before we go, where can our listeners find out more about you and your work? How can they follow you further?
Well, I'm sure you're going to put the information in the chat or whatever vehicle
Yes,
you.
it'll all be in the show
Okay.
notes, but how can
But
they find you?
basically, I have two websites, Novita, Novita, spa.com. Novita, if we're in Italy, they say no, Novita.
I
Here
love it.
in Texas, they say Novita. I say, I'm call us, just call us. I really don't care.
No, Vita.
Novita, like Novita, so I don't know.
Excellent.
Right. So novitaspa.com, but it means new birth, new life, always something new. So
And the
I've
products are amazing, you guys. If you want something for your skin that really, like, absorbs all the moisture. I live in Florida, and everything is based in Texas where Megan's at, and the heat that this protects you from, definitely
well,
check
they're
it out.
clean.
So
It's a clean
amazing.
line a clean line of skincare. So all the
I'm so excited.
phthalates and parabens and so forth. Their fragrance, it's always been fragrance free, but been making these for years. But they're very current with the most recent science. So you can buy a Try Me bag there and so forth, and come and see us for our at our
Yes.
regenerative wellness clinic for regenerative stem cell, vitamin infusion, infrared saunas, and facial massage and all that.
Love
But
it.
then my Megan DiMartino, pretty simple, .com, you can download my ebook. You can go to Kindle and pay for it, but it's no charge as well as the audiobook. So you can drive down the road and listen to me share it's really more of my personal story. So in my early years. So I think you will enjoy it. Then
Such a good book.
thank you. Thank you. And it was number one on Amazon in 2020. So January 4th, 2020. That's that nuts and bolts. But then I'm building this Propel brand and training and tools. Those are the things that you will put up there as well. But we have the Propel daily texting mode of inspiration and encouragement from me. And I've had such focus groups delve into it because I want this to resonate with you. And people said, no, this isn't preachy. This isn't gaudy. This is just your heart. So I really ask you to join us there. And then
Yes.
Tuesday at BWC, I have a room, Breakfast with Champions at 10 o'clock Eastern on
On
Tuesday.
Clubhouse. It's so good.
I have a guest, and then that same guest comes on with us on Thursday evening for the deep dive, where it's on StreamYard, so you can come in, but it's also streamed into YouTube, LinkedIn, and our Facebook group, our Propel Facebook business group, and then Propel on Clubhouse. So you can check it out wherever. And then lastly, I am doing what I have been building for the last year and a half, but I needed to meet this beautiful lady sitting to my side there with the purple sparkly jacket, who with her KSA has helped me set up the systems for this. I mean, the program's done, meaning the videos, the workbooks, it's done, guys. But I needed that vehicle. So I'm the vehicle, she's a vehicle, meaning we will get you in that car, but not stall out, not stop at the red light, but keep going to the moment
Yes.
you'll win.
Go. I
Oh,
love it, you guys. There's going to be so much coming up from Megan. You think she's just started or like that she's near the completion of things? No, she has just begun. And Propel Your Business and Life Activation Program is incredible. So join the daily. I'll be putting all the links in the show notes so that you can continue to follow her. You can text daily to 817-518-6774 to get part of the texting community and then part of the Clubhouse Propel Weeklies on Tuesday mornings, yes, 10 a.m. Central at 10 a.m. Eastern. I get time zones crazy, but
10 a.m. Eastern.
yes,
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Eastern. And then we will continue weekly to the Propel Deep Dives on Thursdays. It's such a great community, guys, and I would love for you to be part of it. So thank you again, Megan, for joining us today and sharing your wisdom. And to our listeners, remember to stay faithful, dream big, and take courageous steps towards building the life and business of your dreams. Until next time, keep sparkling. Bye. That's it for this episode of the Kingdom Sparkle podcast. I hope it's added a little extra sparkle to your day. If you enjoyed our time together, I'd be so grateful if you could leave us a 5-star review and share this podcast with your friends, family, and business associate. It truly makes a difference and helps others find us. We hope you've enjoyed our insights and gained inspiration to take your business to new heights. This podcast is sponsored by the Kingdom Sparkle Agency, KSA. At KSA, we understand the challenges faced by successful business owners and entrepreneurs like you. That's why we provide a powerful solution that will transform the way that you do business. Our comprehensive suite of tools and systems offer everything you need to streamline your operations and simplify it in one place. From landing pages and funnels to social media scheduling, appointments, invoicing, automation, email and text marketing, and lead capturing and nurturing. We got you covered. What sets the Kingdom Sparkle Agency apart is our unique ability to unify all these diverse business systems into a single, efficient platform. Say bye-bye to juggling multiple tools and hello to streamlined operations, significant cost savings, and enhanced efficiency. With KSA, you can focus on what matters most, growing your business and serving your clients. Ready to experience the power of KSA yourself? Schedule a demo today and discover the difference KSA can make in your business by visiting ksa.systems. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on our next episode, packed with more insights to illuminate your path. Remember, the world needs your unique light, so keep shining your kingdom sparkle. This is your host, Angeline Moore, saying thank you for listening, and until next time, stay sparkling.